Hello, good morning again. My name's Ian. Hello, how you doing? This is in relation to my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. And it is, as I say, it's about my, in connection to my book. This is my second podcast I've done today. And again, I'm going to talk about going skiing. I'm going skiing on Sunday, and as a result of me going skiing, my nephew is coming to stay and house sit. And I've done many skiing trips over the years, and I'm mainly going to talk about America and going to Andorra, which I'm going to Andorra on Sunday. But yeah, going to America was, it was amazing. We flew into Vegas to start with, and then the following day we drove to California. And we used their instructors over there. Now the America trip, you skied for 3 whole days, and then we had a day off. Although we did an activity on that day, though thinking back, looking at it, I could have maybe just chilled out that day and doing nothing. But we did something, so great. And then we had another 2.5 days skiing, and then we drove back to drove back to Vegas, sorry, and then had 2 more days in Vegas, and then we flew back to the UK. One of the things we did in Vegas on the way back, we kind of put these like harnesses on, and then you were like in a lift, and you went to like a higher point, and then you kind of got attached to this. You laid down, you got attached to this thing, and you were like flying through the air, as it were, although you were still harnessed in. So that was amazing. There was a couple of nights in California where we went to do karaoke. Each night in America, this was just like in California, but other times I've been to America as well. Most of the places you eat out, or you eat out all the time. So it was crazy every day. The organizer had to ring around and check that, a certain place would take between 20 and 30 people, at least three people were in wheelchairs. Obviously not everywhere is going to be able to house that amount of people. So we did that every night as well. But going back to next week, we're going to Andorra, which, as I say, I've been twice before. The travel times are a bit crazy. I'm going down to London on Saturday, and then staying over in the airport hotel. We've got to meet about 3 o'clock in the morning in reception, and then we'll meet about 3 o'clock in the morning. Get a plane out about 6:30 to Toulouse, and then from Toulouse we've got about 4-hour coach transfer, and then get to Andorra. As I said on the last podcast, I'm gluten intolerant now. I'm celiac, which means I'm gluten intolerant. And unfortunately, I these days when I have a drink, I usually stick to cider. Unfortunately, last year the hotel never had any cider, so I ended up. They did have a gluten-free beer though, so I usually stuck to that because I mean it doesn't have that much effect on me at the minute. It doesn't having gluten, but I think if I try and, as I call it, the rules, if I stick to the rules, I shouldn't have any problems. And the transfer times coming back, the transfer times on the way back, and much better. I recall last year we had to maybe get up at about 3 o'clock in the morning and have continental cold breakfast. But hey, the clocks halted that weekend, so it wasn't 3 o'clock; it was 2 o'clock. So that was a bit crazy, but it was all good fun in the end. But the difference on the European trips, the Andorra and the Austria trips, is you only get 6 half-day sessions, skiing lessons, where in America you got 5.5 days, full 5 days skiing, and a half day. I think my last half day, it was cut even more. It was only half of a half day because I was so tired and so worn out. I think I ended up falling so many times. I was like, right, I think we'll call it a day then. But no, in America, you use their instructors and they ask you which slopes you want to go on. So I just turn around to the guys that we taking me each day and said, look, take us on the steep stuff. I don't know where it is or what it is, but because my distance vision is non-existent, so like take us on the steep stuff, and I'm pretty experienced, and it was fairly steep, to be fair to them. I skied in America. I skied with Tommy on the first 2 days, I think, and then for the rest of the week, I had Rob. I asked to change from Tommy after the second lunch day. Midday, I spoke to the organizer and asked if I could change, because Tommy, rather than tethering me, holding onto a rope behind me, Tommy wanted to hold on to the back of my ski, and I felt I didn't have as much control. So for the rest of the week, I was with Rob, which was okay. Rob seemed to do what I wanted to do. It is better to stick with the same person, whether in Europe or whether in America. Because you know what they're gonna do and vice versa. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this chat about skiing, skiing is just one of the activities that I got up to in my book, one of the adventures I've done several times over in my life. In my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. So if you've enjoyed this on my last podcast, please get the book on Amazon, and I'll look forward to speaking to you in a couple of weeks, and I'll tell you about my skiing trip and anything else crazy I've got coming up. But yeah, thank you for listening, and I will see you all very soon. Okay, goodbye.